Hi guys, I'm Tim and I'm here with Mickey. We're at Big Bear Bikes in Pickering, North Yorkshire's biggest independent bike shop, and today we've got a really exciting share with you. You might have seen the news that Trek have just launched the all-new Trek Gen 6 and it's a high pivot. Mickey, you've already bought this bike and it came out, what, only a few days ago?
Yeah, I mean, it really excites me. There's not many bikes nowadays that are launched that really excites me as much as this has. So I thought, you know what, I've just got to give it a go and see what happens.
So what were you riding previously?
Trek Remedy.
Right, okay, and you'd had 2 or 3 remedies?
Yes, I've had 3 remedies.
Yeah, and you can really ride, so...
I'd like to think so.
So, natural step up. Just explain to people that don't already know, what is the Trek Slash in Trek's mountain bike lineup?
So the Slash is your big, heavy-hitting enduro bike. So it's got loads of travel, it's a long bike, it's for racing, it's for your big mountain stuff. Yeah, used all over the world for racers and free riders and stuff. So, yeah. It's a big bike. It's proper bike.
Toy, yeah, proper toy. So I guess the Slash, this is the high pivot, and it's the first time that Trek have brought high pivot to the Slash. I think it's something we've seen at a level on Trek's Session, which is obviously their full downhill race bike.
Yeah, exactly.
So you know, it's quite clear straight away what they're trying to do with this. It's all about beefing up Slash, taking it to that next level. But just talk people through what high pivot actually means. What's it all about?
So, well, the obvious thing is you can see that lower arm, the rear end, is just lifted up a little bit. Now, this does all sorts to the bike of how it works, but realistically, instead of your back wheel, as it goes through its travel, usually it comes up and forwards a little bit. So as you're going over bumps, it's kind of rocking up and over them. Now, this is designed so your back wheel is now got a rear wheel travel on it, so that the wheel now moves away from the obstacle.
So if you imagine a semicircle, it's that naturally from its lowest point almost moving out away from the bike to start with as you're hitting those rocks. Yeah, okay.
There you go, yeah.
So what's that actually do? I mean, so what? What's that? Why does that matter? What's it doing for you?
It tracks way better as the number one thing. So as you're going over those bumps, it is just designed to get up and over them just easier, more efficiently than anything else that well, what people are classed as your normal full suspension bikes do. It's just a little bit more ergonomic on the bike, and yeah, they do actually feel incredible. So yeah,
because you've already ridden this bike, as I say, already bought this bike.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So let's just look at this system then. So Trek's high pivot system. So as you rightly say, this bottom arm, the high pivot is here, where traditionally we might find that pivot here.
Yeah, exactly. So usually your main pivot is right by your bottom bracket. So it means that lower chainstay is running almost parallel to the ground. That gives you just, you know, a nice moving bike. You know, suspensions work like that for years, so it works. But yeah, there's more and more bikes, more companies now bringing out this high pivot, which just creates a new feeling for the bike, and the entire thing just works a bit differently, really.
Nice. So, and obviously from a look point of view, we can see we've got these 3 wheels. Just talk people through what they're doing. Yeah.
So you've got your regular chainring there. Obviously that's exactly the same as every other bike, but these 2 additional wheels. So you've got 2 tension wheels, and well, that's a pulley wheel and a tension wheel. They are negating your pedal kickback. So as you go over the bumps, those of you who ride full suspension bikes may have found, especially if you're going over rough stuff, your pedals kick a little bit every time you go over stuff. And all it is as your wheel goes through its travel, the chain is pulling against that chain ring, and as it happens, you know, your feet are then being kicked from the pedals. This negates that completely, so the length from your cassette to your front chain ring going over that wheel stays the same all the way through its travel. So it completely negates that kickback of your feet just constantly being rattled as you're going down a trail. It means you can ride, you know, if you're on flats, you're not going to get bounced around as much as you would on the old Slash, say. So yeah, that's the idea of all of this crazy wheelage that's going on here.
Nice. And I'm just noticing as well, so we've got this super rugged stay there, so talk to us about that.
Yeah, well, so stays of, you know, it stops that rattle. they've been previously soft and quite small, but you find sometimes it still rattles around a little bit. So they've come up with this just mega chainstay protector. It's got lips on there to stop the chain kind of bouncing from side to side, but it's a real thick, rugged kind of rubber on there as well, and it's actually bolted into place rather than glued or anything. So if you wreck it, you can easily remove it. It also means the glue isn't just going to come apart when you wash it and fall off.
So it's going to protect the frame, but it's also going to keep it quiet compared to what you might be used to.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, especially if you're riding an older bike that potentially doesn't have a chainstay protector or has an older one that's knackered, this is going to sound silent compared to it. So,
fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic.
really cool.
So back to the whole beefing up.
Yeah.
From a suspension point of view, the travel's been boosted, right?
Yeah.
So what we got now, 170 on the front, but also...
Yeah, 170 at the back as well.
Yeah.
So on the old Slash, you had a 170, 160, so 10 mil less travel for your rear wheel. Honestly, I've not had time to properly test it yet. I don't know what that extra 10 mil really means, but as a whole, especially with this new back end design, I think it's balanced it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And it seems to, because of all this, they've been able to give you an extra 10 mil without wrecking the complete bike and making it unrideable.
Well, I'm going to say, like, one of the things immediately, you think, if you're thinking more travel, you're thinking, what, more sag, less efficient, it's going to be harder work up the hills, harder work on the flats.
Yeah.
But Trek are saying with high pivot, that's not the case?
No. So I took this just up one of the Dolby Fire roads the other day, just to give it a test, and the climbing bob was almost non-existent. Like, I was really impressed. Even on my Remedy, that's much shorter travel than this, you'll always get that little bit of bob, even if you put your climbing platform on, it's just bobbing a little bit. But this, I was so impressed. You're really giving it some, and the back end is just staying still. Just all this extra stuff they've put in there, that research and development is paying off, and that's so after that ride, I instantly said, yeah, I'll buy one, because, I've not ridden it properly, but even just
the gnarliest thing you could get your hands on, but it's efficient enough to enjoy the ride. It's not going to be hard work. So officially, guys, Trek did a lot of research, and they tested this bike against Top Fuel. So if you know Trek's bike range, Top Fuel is more of a cross-country bike. It's much, much less travel. And actually, the Slash is pretty much on par, give or take. On paper, we'll let you know how it rides in a few weeks, but on paper, this bike is pretty much as efficient as a Top Fuel. That bob you're talking about is comparable to an XC bike with what, 110, 120 travel?
120 more.
So,
That's crazy.
total game changer in terms of that design. So let's just walk through the bike then. So we've already mentioned that we've got 170 travel front and rear. And from a kit perspective, Trek seem to have raised the game in terms of the entry-level spec. Because this is what model is this?
So this is the 8. This is the Slash 8. So it comes with an aluminium frame, but whereas previously, so you had like your Slash 7, you've got your Remedy 7, and you've got your few, the X even goes down to 5.
Yeah.
So the numbers kind of correspond with your componentry.
Yeah.
Now this 8 is technically the entry level spec, but it's awesome. It comes with a really good spec of kit that if you're buying this kind of bike, you'd happily ride.
Yeah.
It's not got components on that even your heavy hitters would potentially want to change out because they'd be worried of breaking something.
So even if you're a capable rider, this is going to give you the components you need to go and hit the big stuff.
Yeah.
And that starts here, doesn't it, at the front? So this Fox fork, we've got a 36 on the front.
Yeah, so there's a big 36 Mil Stanchion Forks. It's a real chunky fork, and yeah, people have been riding these for years. They're incredible, really good forks. And yeah, paired with your Floor X rear suspension as well, with your little piggyback on there as well. It's just a real cool shock. I've ridden this on my Remedies, and it just feels nice. So I'm really excited about this pairing on a big bike with a lot of travel, what it can accomplish.
Love it. And what have we got in terms of group set then? So the entry-level bike, the 8, what spec does this come with?
It comes with Shimano XT. So a good, robust group set that is reliable, everyone knows it works. So yeah, 12 speeds,
Everything you need.
Awesome.
Everything you need.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see some bits on this that have been added. I think this has been pimped up a little bit in the shop, so we'll come to that in a minute. But in terms of spec, where does the range go then? So if this is the 8, what are my options?
So you've got the 8, which is obviously this one here. You've then got a 9, still aluminium, but it comes with slightly better componentry. On the 9, you've got the new SRAM T-type drivetrain on there, so that's a big upgrade for that. And then you go onto your 9.5, your 9.7, 9.8, 9.9, which are all your carbon models, and again just go boom, 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 all the way up to you then go to your ultimate suspension. You've got carbon wheels, carbon handlebars, you know, carbon everywhere on your 9.9.
The ultimate super bike for enduro racing.
Yeah, if you've got the money, everything you'd want on a bike, it'll be on the 9.9. So yeah, it looks really cool.
Love it. Happy days. So what else has this bike got? I've just noticed we've got internal storage. Did you get internal storage on the Slash previously?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
a carryover.
Yeah, that's a carryover. That's the same as your Slash, but it looks really nice, and especially on this one, they've got like a little anodized blue handle to go with, you know, the accents of the bike. So I think that's really cool. It just looks like it fits with the bike. Previously, some of them have just been like a little black door.
Yeah.
That obviously looks like, you know, they've just printed out a million from the factory and just chuck it every bike. But this looks purpose for that bike.
It's for that bike.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, really smart.
Yeah.
And actually, I noticed Trek talk about the increase in the weight of the carbon fibre to give some extra protection in the down tube as well, to protect against some of the damage that you might see.
Yeah, so obviously as an aluminium bike, it is just aluminium.
Yeah.
But as you go up to the carbon ones, this down tube, so you've got a couple of protectors down here, but they've also increased the thickness of the carbon going down the down tube, and they've given it this coating that they say helps deflect rocks and stuff. So they've strengthened it, but also by not making it look ridiculous.
I mean, Trek offer a lifetime frame warranty anyway, don't they? So, you know, one of the big things about Trek, if you're buying one of these mountain bikes, is you can throw it at anything you want. They've got that much confidence in the product. It's a lifetime frame warranty. But if you're buying the carbon fibre frame, then just knowing that additional resilience is really encouraging.
Yeah, it makes you feel a bit happy about buying, you know, a very expensive bike.
Love it. So it's a really smart looking thing. What have we put on it in the shop? Because this is on a stand here to see right now.
Yeah.
What have we got?
So you've got your Maxxis tyres, you know, everyone loves a Maxxis tyre.
So we've got Assegai on the front.
Yeah.
Minion DHR on the back.
Exactly.
Just explain that combo.
It's my favourite combo.
Yeah.
So your Assegai is real nice. It's a grippy tyre that'll give you grip in the dry, in the wet. It's just an awesome tyre. It is a really good tyre. And your rear one is, so your DHR is a slightly faster roll-in. You've got cuts in the knobs so that it runs fast, but gives you a real good braking service on the other side of the knobs. So it's a real reliable, fast rolling tyre. And yeah, I run especially a DHR all year round. I'm a fan of the DHF. A little bit different to the Assegai. I find it runs a little bit smoother in the dry, not as quick in the wet. But then, am I a fair weather rider?
Not so much.
Knows?
Not so much. But actually, I'll tell you what, you got us on the wheels. We nearly missed one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
This bike comes mullet as standard.
It does indeed.
So we're running 27.5 on the back.
Yeah.
29 as standard on the front. If I want, I can go 29.
You can indeed.
Yeah.
So this is something crazy for Trek. This is something I wasn't expecting to come from it, but I'm really excited. You know, there's a couple of things that have really driven me towards getting the Slash in the end. But the first thing is, you know, riding Remedies. I'm 27 for life, you know. But then looking at this, and I'm like, oh, you know, I'll dip my toe, I'll go 129, and I'll keep that 27 at the back, you know, the thing I'm comfortable with. But yeah, you've got, so your rear mounted at the bottom, you can flip that over, and it gives you that extra length to put a 29er in the back. So a few racers out there who want all-out speed, not worried about that small wheel at the back, you can do it. You can do everything, so it's a real versatile bike.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
I mean, I presume that the whole, you know, doing that to your bike, mulleting your bike, must be a growing trend, because obviously on EXE, it was the other way. It turned up 29, but they went, this is a bike you can mullet.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing Slash, and they're going, do you know what? It's mullet as standard. You can go 29 if you want.
Yeah.
So I suppose riders are demanding more flexibility, more opportunity to customise their ride, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the idea of the 27 at the back brings that back wheel in a little bit, so it doesn't feel like, especially old 29ers, when they first started bringing them out, they felt like barges. They were really really long, your back wheel's miles away and you're trying to corner, and it just felt awful. Now bikes are getting better and better, and even 29ers now are just great, but by bringing that smaller wheel in a little bit, you've got a real nimble back end, but you've got the front wheel travel and the size to just roll over everything.
Yeah.
So you can really park that front wheel wherever you want, and the back wheel will just straight in.
And that adjustability, that customization continues, doesn't it, with what we can do with the front end of the bike?
Yeah.
So just talk people through that.
It's crazy. So your headset, you've got an adjustable cup in there, so you can get either a +1 degree or -1 degree to either rake the forks out or bring them up a little bit.
And what's that mean for like the average rider?
Well, so to a lot of people it'll probably mean nothing. But what it actually means is it's going to bring that front wheel either closer to you if you want a shorter bike.
And what will that do in terms of riding?
So that'll make it more nimble.
Yeah, so it's faster turning.
Yeah, exactly. That is probably what I'm going to do with mine. Going from that Remedy to a real big slash, to start with, I'm going to bring that front wheel in, and it'll just make it feel, hopefully, you know, more in line with what I'm going from a Remedy to just a big all-out bike.
So if I go the other way?
If you go the other way, you're turning it more into like a downhill bike, so you're extending that. Now, you probably want to then put your 29 wheel in the back because you're turning it into just like an absolute monster truck. But by extending it out a little bit, as I say, you're extending your wheelbase, that front wheel then is a little bit further away from you, it'll just track better, and it'll just run in a straight line, and even, you know, just on the swoopy stuff, it'll just run incredible. So yeah, it's a real cool bike that you can shorten or you can lengthen your needs.
It feels like a real big hit for Trek. It feels like an exciting bike, one of the most exciting bikes we've seen in the shop for quite a while, really.
Yeah. Well, when I was told this was down here, I jumped straight in the car and came down to see it because, as I say,
got your name on it.
Yeah.
And then, in the shop, we've made some changes. So just walk us through what's been put on this bike that people could do with their own, whether it's a slash or anything else. We've got BergTech in the shop.
Yeah.
And here on the bike, we've got what?
So we've got a couple of BergTech features. So as you can see, the paint job of the bike really matches the blue of the BergTech, which I'm really impressed with. I think it looks incredible. So obviously you've just got your Mark V penthouses there, but you've got a matching stem. We've put a couple of black headset spacers and stuff on there, and we've obviously got fan favourite of the BergTech handlebar. They're just awesome bars. Really cool. But yeah, I'm really impressed with the blue of the BergTech running with the blue of the frame. I think it's just, it's real cool.
It looks the beast, names it really
cool.
does. It's really cool. So there you go, guys. So that is the Trek slash high pivot. It's a hell of a thing. It looks incredible in the flesh. You've got to come and see it. Come down to the shop. You can visit Mickey and the team here. Mickey's actually also at our sister shop, Dolby Forest Cycle Hub, up in Dolby Forest. So chat to him about the bike there. And for sure, over the coming weeks, we're going to share with you actually what it's like to ride, what it's like to live with after a few months, and certainly that move from Remedy to Slash, that'll be quite interesting.
Yeah.
But if you want to check out this bike, if you want to test ride this bike, if you want to buy this bike, it's in the shop now at Big Bear Bikes in Pickering, and also over at Dolby Forest Cycle Hub. Cheers, and we'll see you soon.